I started great the match. I was 3-0 up, and then I missed that 2-ball, long 2-ball, but I was supposed to make it. And yeah, I played quite good.
The guy's a good player, okay? He's not a great player.
But to be a great player, you, of course, you need to achieve many things. So he might be right. I don't know.
I played the last couple of weeks here in Europe, a couple of tournaments, had 5th place and 2nd place last week, so I'm in pretty good form.
And I played Jayson many times, and we are very good friends.
I've had a few wins over him, so I'll be in the back of his mind, but it's a race to 7.
Well, it's not the end of the road for the champion Niels Fine, because he is in the commentary booth with Alex Lely.
Welcome at the first match in the evening session between eagle-eyed Jayson Shaw and Eklent Kaçi from Albania. Niels, you're joining me. We've done everything in pool, but this is a first-timer.
Yeah, this is pretty original and special. I would have much rather sitting in a restaurant and prepare for tomorrow, but that's how it is. And to do the first commentary for Matchroom with this match is very exciting. These two guys are red hot. So this is going to be a really good match. Who do you predict yourself?
Yeah, it's tough to say, of course. But I liked Kaçi's game in the opening round when he beat Earl. The 7-2 scoreline. He was playing well. Did you see that match?
No, I didn't see the match. But what I saw just now is that he's one of the first guys today that I've seen breaking from the other side, actually. From the left side. And he's making 2 balls on the break, 3. So that's a good start for him. He's got to play safe now, though, I think.
Don't see anything easy. He can use the 7 to catch that 2-ball. He can still play a push-out. Feel free to make a call, Niels.
Yeah,
I'm kidding, because this is a very
this is a really tricky shot. I was thinking pushing out down table, but he might be afraid of the carom, but the carom's not laying there, so I still felt that would be a safe zone, but he sees something else. Oh, interesting.
Oh, very
interesting.
nice.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot there.
And there, in the opening rack, directly we see an example of how mature a player Kaçi is.
Yeah, I totally agree. He spent so much time in the USA, playing so many challenge matches and tournaments, and it's really made his game very strong.
Could be worse for Shaw.
Nice hit, but he's left maybe a 2-9 combo, but he's got to take care of the cue ball. If he doesn't fancy it, he can play safe, but I feel he's going to shoot at this 9. This is,
Would you attempt it? I mean, the only way to attack the 9 and get some sort of defense is if you dig down on the cue ball.
Correct. But he's very good at that. He's also an excellent snooker player, so
extension call.
The only thing that could be catching him here is the early match jitters, where he's got some early match nerves. So this shot becomes a little more tricky, but I feel he's shooting at it, and like you said, digging down and then trying to get 2-3 rails behind the 9. Behind the 8, sorry.
He was lining up on the upper side. Oh, now he's digging down. So going for the 9.
Oh.
What a fluke. What a fluke for Kaçi. Now that's a nice way to start. He did manage, though, I must say, to get a full hit on the 9. So the 2-ball stayed and he controlled his rock.
Yeah.
But this 2 railing in that 9-ball, that's a big fluke.
Yeah.
Getting that first point on the board.
It's part of the game.
Part of the game. How long does it take you in the chair to digest something like that if your opponent locks a ball in?
It depends on the point of the match. Like now it's 0-0, so it's going 1-0. It's easier to digest than when it's 4-4. Or like if you're trailing 5-4. Or like in the first match of the tournament, we saw Wu and Pegalion. When Pegalion made that fluke on the 6, and that score was 5-4. Then it's really brutal to digest. Because he couldn't overcome it anymore, because he broke around the next game. It's match over. So here, there's a little leeway for Jayson to recover from this.
And at 5-5, how long will it take you?
Rack 2.
Depends on the next break.
Leading 1 rack to 0.
If you get back. So let's see if you can copy this break from before.
Very much so. Because as on the previous break, he sort of mishit the 1 ball. He hit it a bit on the right. And what is left is a 1-2 combination. Very makeable. The challenge is to control that 1 ball.
Yeah, he can play it pretty soft. Because the 1 is going a little bit to the right, so he can kind of drag it with slow draw, or he can shoot it a little harder. But then the cue ball becomes a little more difficult to control.
Yeah, I think the only controlled way to play it is real soft.
Yeah.
But it's scary. It's tricky.
Played it with a little more speed, and the 1 got away from him a little bit, but he still has a nice bank into the left corner pocket if he would like to shoot it.
If you were to attack the 1, I like banking the 1. Would you play it as a 2-way shot, also play for the 3?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a natural line.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, you almost have to, because it's the angle's pretty severe. And like you said, the cable's going right towards the 3.
Lining up the bank. Aligns himself very much like a snooker player. As does Shane, actually, I noticed today. Yeah, so that he tried to play it soft, but then the difficulty was to hold that cue ball, and he ended up missing it on the thick side because of it, I think.
Correct.
Going for the 3 together with the 1 would have allowed him to hit it with a little more punch.
Yeah, his brain kind of said to him, we can play position for the 3, but then we just have to miss the 1.
Yeah.
That's how it works then. So this is a great chance for Jayson to fire back, and he usually does that within a minute, as you will see.
Well, I watched him get to the final in the Bucharest Open. I had the impression, though, that he had slowed down his game somewhat. Not?
Well, I think it depends with him also on the format. Bucharest was alternate break, so then it's a little more composure thing. You have to wait for your opponent also, of course, to make a mistake. And here it's winner break, so I think Jayson is capable of hitting a higher gear in this format, where he starts playing a little more loose, which very much suits him, because he's a very flashy and entertaining player.
So that's it. First point on the board for Jayson Shaw, capitalizing on that missed bank on the 1 by Eklent Kaçi. Leveling the score, it's 1-0 in the race to 7. And being a winner break format, you never know how long you'll be in the chair. Could be 2 minutes, could be 20.
Very true.
But still, you prefer, I know, you prefer playing a winner break format.
I do, if the races are a little bit longer. Like, for instance, the upcoming US Open that Matchroom organizes, the races are to 11. And then the break format's also tougher. So then the winner break format is really a great format. Of course, this is shorter races. You can break from anywhere. 1 ball's on the spot. So it's much more dangerous facing the opponent, yeah, you're a little bit more afraid of getting hammered when you make a mistake. So there's pros and cons formats. Curious to see how Jayson will break. If he's been
Rack 3. Jayson
okay.
sure to break.
That's interesting.
1-1.
He's going to the other side. Wow.
Yeah, table today has been productive on the break from both sides.
Yeah, totally opposite from yesterday. Huh?
Yeah.
Yesterday everybody was struggling, and that's usually the case on day one with a TV table. And then the balls get settled in a little bit. The cloth gets worn in a little bit more, and you see the corner ball flying. Boom.
Oh, I liked how he got ready for that shot. He went down over the cue slowly. With every warm-up stroke, a bit more. A very controlled break there. Hit that one ball as square as you can.
Do you think he can get in deep enough to open these balls up, or is the 4 in the way?
It's going to be close, but he can leave himself a cut on the 3. There's enough room past the 8. Now he can't spin the cue ball. He'd run into the 8 ball, so he needs to cross. Go to the other side. Could bump the 6. But there's no danger there, I think.
No, the 4 sitting's really sweet. Just bump the rail here, come back out, and then towards the middle of the table for the 6. He's probably going to go the other route now, where potentially he has to fall under the 8 to shoot the 8 in the top corner.
Yeah, so had he been on the other side of the 5, things would have been easier. A player like him, you know, he's always favorite to dish with the balls in the open.
Yeah. Let's go power draw this a little bit though, back to the line almost.
The table, I was having the impression that the table isn't as reactive as in other events, in previous events.
As you saw right there.
I've seen many draw shots end up short.
Yeah.
Kopen Yi against Pegalayan, you against Okadi.
Yeah, correct. It plays a little more damped.
Which is I mean, is it nice? Well, it's nice if it works.
It's nice if you get used to it. That's the problem for Jayson now. This is his first match, and you could see right there that he hasn't been dialed into the speed of the cloth yet, which got him in trouble. Actually, 3 shots in a row.
How is he going to put Kaçi in trouble?
I think the 8 ball behind the 9 and the cue ball all the way back up table.
For me, more important than getting the 8 behind the 9 is the distance of the 8 to the short rail.
Yeah, because if he freezes him on the short rail, the option for the bank gets harder and harder because the double hit comes into play.
And the kick and stick behind the 8.
Mm-hmm. But Kaçi has a bank here.
Tension call.
Under pressure right away.
Yeah, big wreck this, big shot. He could regain the initiative right before the break. He's playing with a level cue.
There's that double hit.
Yeah, I think like that, the way he addressed the cue ball, you can't make the bank. If you want to make it, you need to cut it and stiffen the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Make it come short. So he tried to bank it straight. If you cut it a bit, the 8 ball would get check side. Helping to avoid the kiss. That's a good pot there. He's looking calm. He's not so amped.
No, yeah, compared to the Mosconi Cup. You're right.
Short forehand, take note of that. He's a flashy player, but close to the cue ball. So the first rack went to Eklent Kaçi, but rack number 2 and rack number 3 to Jayson Shaw, taking the lead. He's up 2-1. We'll be taking a break. And then shortly get back for rack 4, where this man, Eagle Eye, will be breaking. Jayson Shaw looking cool, calm
rack
and
4.
collected.
Jayson Shaw to break, leading 2 racks
Almost
to 1.
uncharacteristically. But he does have a lead now, 2-1 with the break.
He's even smiling at somebody
Look,
in the crowd.
with every warm-up stroke, he comes down a little lower.
Oh, shot.
Looking for that full hit on the 1. Not this time.
I think he was a little bit distracted there, Alex.
He was, yeah.
Because somebody made a funny remark in the crowd right before he broke, and he was laughing at it, but it did shock him a little bit.
Always nice, eh? Those funny remarks of friends. Trying to help. Now the 1, 2 and 3 in the open, and Kaçi's looking at the 4-9. Firstly, if he could cut the 4 to the corner, low left. But the carom seems to be on. And even if the carom would make the 9 head towards the short rail a bit, you can manipulate it. I say it's on.
So would you play here to play down table for the 4 and play the 9 because the 5 is in front of the side, or are you just leaving it longer and play all out for the 9?
No, I would try to get shape on the 4, but because that's approximately where I would like to be.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He still has the angle, but it's a lot of angle.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough shot.
So desperate to make his mark in the Matchroom arena.
Yes.
Played the Mosconi Cup. He's now debuting in the World Pool Masters. Well, that works.
Really nice. I think he can just get by there.
So we'd have to ask him after the match if he had planned to play it like so, or that his plan A was to play shape on the carom.
Yeah, and like you said, Alex, this is a really big match for Clenty because this is only his 3rd Matchroom event. He started with the World Cup of Pool in June last year in China, where he lost the opening round, I think, to Taiwan with Albania. And then, of course, we had the Mosconi Cup, and that also was a tough ride. We both lost our first 3 matches, which is not, of course, how you want to start that event. So this is a really big moment for him to put his stamp on the international Matchroom events. He really wants to do well here.
But he's looking more comfortable than during the Mosconi Cup, I think.
Yeah, the Mosconi Cup, there's always that added pressure for your teammates, of course. You don't want to let your teammates down, which is the extra dimension. But he's making quick work of this. And he made a great recovery shot in that 3. And he went through these last couple of balls very smoothly.
So Jayson Shaw on his break failed to control the cue ball. A scratch and ball in hand, leading to a level score. 2 apiece, with Kaçi to break in the 5th.
That's one of the first scratches in the side I've seen, I think, this tournament. Direct scratch. People have been breaking really solid.
Yeah, it also helps once the table is giving you balls on the break. It helps to relax.
Yeah.
When the table's breaking hard and people are not making balls, They don't know or recognize what speed to hit with.
Yeah.
And they'll force it or mishit it.
They over-amp it.
Not over-amping it today, Jayson Shaw. I think it's very difficult having to play in the second round, being a seeded player. I mean, it's better to start in the second round, but it's always nice to have a match under your
Back
belt.
5.
Definitely.
Eklent Kaçi to break. 2-2.
It's easy to say afterwards, you know. Of course, I've lost my match, and but it's normal. I mean, this is your first match. You have to get used to the arena a little bit, the table. If you win, then there's no problem. If you lose, then you can say that as an excuse. So in the end, if you make mistakes, you always have to look at yourself. That's all you can do. Once again, like you said, he's hitting the one ball a little bit on his left side, which makes the cue ball go to that long rail here. You can see he's hitting it a little bit on the other side.
I don't think he does it on purpose, and on the next break, I'll try and make a point.
But look at this, Alex. Now,
it's not lined up to the pocket.
So the question here is, how close is the 3 to the 9? As we can see here, there's a little bit of distance.
Enough to manipulate the 9. But also enough to make it missable.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know, he put the 3 ball in a nice place to make it off of the 5 in the side pocket, but I was a bit surprised that he opened the balls.
That if you're playing out there, the angle's always a little bit different than on the screen. So he felt he could not stay above the 3-9 to make the combination, and he chose to run right into them.
Extension call.
Just to take his extension.
He needs to play it with, you know, if he plays it with more speed, it'll be easier to make the 3. But more speed means he needs to do something with the cue ball.
Yeah, and these side pockets from that angle are really tight.
Full into the 5, 3/4 ball hit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Nicely
Still good.
done.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I like his game.
Yeah, he has to keep his composure here, and then he's off to a 3-2 lead. Hit this nice and smooth. He's got a really nice touch, Clenty.
He's a solid technical foundation, and he's a very cool customer. So it's technique and temperament.
Which he has worked on, because I remember playing him at the Europeans a couple of years ago, and he was considered to be a little bit more of a hothead, slamming his cue. And then since his touring times in the US, when he came back from that, he was really ice cold. So he's really done a lot of work on his
well, or maybe a lot of work was done to him in the States, and he learned from that.
Yeah. But it's still pretty amazing for me to see all these youngsters just coming up left and right, 17 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old. I mean, Alex, when we were breaking through, I mean, we're both early 40s. The age then was 24, 25, 26, breaking through in the international scene, correct?
Breaking through to be a mainstayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be like a breaking through internationally.
Yeah.
At big tournaments. And that age has been reduced by about 8 years.
And that comes down to?
I think the information that's out there, that's available. I mean, we had to buy videotapes, and there was no YouTube, internet, and all that stuff. 3-2 to Clenty, nice out. Because I have a nice story from when I was still running my newspaper route when I was 18 years old, and I wanted to buy videotapes from AccuStats. And first I had to save money to buy the video recorder, which was about 300. Then I had to order the videos, which would come in 2 weeks later, and then we could start studying a little bit, correct?
Yeah.
And now well, you can just go on YouTube or wherever you want, and you can watch 24 hours a day.
And click away, and they'll watch some 2 minutes of one match, and then click away to the next. Where then 20, 30 years ago, if someone had a new Eklent tape, it would be borrowed and exchanged, and you would talk about the same match.
And we would watch the same match for different purposes. We would watch the one guy, like, if it was, let's say it's an 11-9 match, we would watch it for the guy running, going to 11, and then we watch the next time for the other player who would make the comeback.
Yeah.
And how's he handling it in the chair and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's I think my point of why the age is so much younger now when these players are breaking through, especially in Europe. I mean,
rack 6.
we have Fedor,
Eklent
we have
Kaçi to break.
Zielinski, we have
Leading 3
Kaçi.
racks to 2.
Who am I missing?
We have a battalion of bloodhounds coming through.
Yep.
Now watch his legs.
Again, Alex going to the other side with the cube. A little bit risky.
Now on the replay, if you watch Kaçi's legs, he is set up as if he were to play a normal shot. And then on the break, he pushes a bit, but he's not lined up to have any movement in his body. And that's why he tends to go to the left with his body. That's why he tends to miss-hit the one a bit. Like you, when you break and you're gonna throw your body in,
Right.
you're a bit more in with your feet in line with the cue. A bit less square.
Yeah.
So you can pivot your body in line with the shot.
Yeah, I use my left foot to block the forward energy. That's why my body moves up and then the leg kind of follows.
Yeah. And his left leg is not on the line of aim. He's not on his cue, but to the left, like on a regular shot.
Okay.
Extension called.
Okay.
So what's on offer?
What's on offer? He can cut the 2-ball 1 rail to the bottom rail under the 9. Send the cue ball back up table. Not easy. He can go for the 2-9 if he feels really wild. Not a good option, I think. And again.
I'm going to take him to the casino tonight.
Oh my goodness.
That's his second 2-railer on the 9. This is exactly the same type of fluke as in the opening rack. Oh my.
And now you talk about digesting, Alex. Now if you're Jayson, this is hard to fade because it's twice in a row in the same shot in the same corner.
Oh man.
And now you're going to start thinking about the format and the luck factor.
Break ice break.
Oh, beautiful view here of Gibraltar, where we will be back to Victoria Stadium after the break. Fantastic flukes if you're part of the Kaçi clan. Twice the same shot. Missing the 2-9 combination in the intended pocket and then a 2-railer.
In half a pocket.
Oh, wow. And that makes it a 4-2 lead for Kaçi
Rack 7.
over Jayson Shaw
Eklent Kaçi
in the
to
race
break.
to 7.
Leading 4 racks to 2.
That's part of the game, Alex. And Jayson has to really shake that off or he's in big trouble.
Now,
Mentally.
yeah. Now look at Kaçi's left leg. It's not near the cue. So if he pushes with his body, he tends to go a bit to the left. And, you know, with talent and practice, you manage to get that aim. But it doesn't help. How he sets himself up doesn't help him. So now he hit it square. But if he's set up like that, he cannot throw himself into the break because of that.
Yeah, so what you're saying is he's blocking body movement potential more speed.
Well, not blocking. He needs to block it, because if he's going to throw himself more into the shot, he'll fall to the left. It was a very nice strike.
Nice pinch draw.
I know your game very well. I think you're very good at cheating the pocket when you can. And I think you do it on purpose. Like the 2-ball he just played, you could hit a bit more flash on the 2-ball.
Yeah, if you play that kind of speed, you can. Then the pocket plays pretty big.
But you do it on purpose, right? Or subconsciously?
Subconsciously, I think. It depends what angle you need for the next shot. If you have to get more down table than he needed there, then you have to hit it thicker.
Now this shot, he can slide the cue ball with a trace of outside, or stay on the vertical axis and hit it a little lower. Oh, a nice solution. Overcutting that 5, using the full width of the pocket, gave him a different line.
This is the big shot of the rack. He's gonna try and go play a long rail. So left rail and then the right rail, and then fall into the position for the 7.
Yeah, the angle is not so big that he needs to worry about the spin not grabbing the cue ball.
No, he has a great angle.
He can fire this. And he did fire it.
Nice shot.
Very fine performance so far. He was also good in the opening round against Earl Strickland.
This match is getting out of hand pretty quick, Alex. I mean, of course, he's had these 2 big flukes. But if I was Jayson now, I'm starting to worry a little bit.
It's a tough old game, this. 1 scratch on the break. Was all that this man needed.
He's going to punch it over to play the 9 in the same pocket.
A bit of stun. Stun run through. I find it one of the nicest shots in all cue sports.
And this is a lot of personal preference for players. Some players like to roll this one. See, he likes to roll it. I like to draw this one more with a low right spin. Here, now he's going to the draw. So as a good example. I feel the hit on the ball is just more pure. It eliminates a bad contact.
Well, a good point what you made, that it's personal preference. Myself,
How do you play it then? You roll it in. I feel, personally, if I hit this ball, especially on a TV table with the high and then the right spin, that the cue ball starts twirling too much.
Yeah.
It starts curving like a baseball, where if I hit it low right, it stays more on track.
Yeah.
And I just get a cleaner contact, and I can fire it through the rails. I don't have to think about a scratch. It frees my mind up on those shots. But that's the same with the 9, is like on the spot here. Players have position. Some players like to roll it in. Some like to stun it out 2 rails, which you see a lot.
different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
And your type of stroke will determine your preference.
The break leading 5 racks to 2.
Like Tony Drago, that short punchy stroke versus, for example, Ralph Souquet's smooth stroke.
Oh, nice little bump there on the cue ball to bring him back in position for the 2. And the 3 passes the 8 ball in the top left pocket. So he can really do some damage if he manages to clear these balls.
Yeah, the interesting thing now is to see whether he'll be able to push on. In the opening round, He started well. In the middle, he fell behind a bit and then finished well. Just like Fedor Gorst in his match. But it's another thing to just run away and don't look over your shoulder.
He's taking his time.
Needs to come back. Diamond and a half.
He realizes the moment in the match. So he knows if he clears these balls that he's almost home. He's on the hill. He's got all the momentum. The table's breaking really well.
Now this, we talked about the type of stroke on the 9. So if you hit this low, you could go in between the 7 and 5. If you hit it high, you can leave yourself the gap between the 7 and 9.
And because he hit that rather fat, he almost missed the ball. He hit a little bit too much on the right side. That reduced the speed of the cue ball, so he almost got behind the 7, but he just got away with it. And once again, a super position. Marking the spot that he likes to play the cue ball to next.
And he's able to put it on that dime. Plays with a very good cue ball.
He's very able to close his match out if the table breaks like this. And what a difference from yesterday. It's unbelievable. Corner ball's been going in pretty much every single time.
Trace of right spin.
It's rather straight.
I think we'll see him go forward with high left. Don't know if he'll try to get to the 3rd rail. Yeah, that's the thing. If you go to the 3rd, you risk coming too low.
Or stuck on the rail.
Or stuck on the rail. Wouldn't be the first champion to miss a 9 like that in the Matchroom arena. Yeah, good stuff by Eklent Kaçi. Did not split the wicket, but it didn't hit the knuckle either. 6-2 with the break and run. A very dominant performance and remorseful Jayson Shaw. Partly thinking about his scratch on the break.
Yeah.
And partly about what he can do if he gets a chance back at the table.
Yeah, all you can do now if you're Jayson, he's made one error, which was the scratch on the break, if I recall correctly. But if he sees that the table's breaking like this, the mindset that he has to have now is just give me one chance and I'm going to finish this entire set out.
Average balls on the break, 1.7 by Kaçi. 3 break and runs. That's real strong out of the 6 that he has broken. I think every time that he had a shot, he has dished.
Yeah, but Jayson is the kind of player that if Kaçi would make an error now, he feeds off that. If he sees this table breaking like this, he feeds off that opportunity to close the match out in the arena.
Definitely, this is,
Then Kaçi to break, leading 6 racks to 2.
you know, big deficit, but anything is possible.
So and Kaçi's mindset now has to be close this thing out.
Close it out, make a ball.
Oh, this table.
Pow.
Look at this. 2-ball poink.
Boink.
6-ball, that's a trouble ball.
Yeah, and this draw shot from the 1 to get far enough back on the 2. He could even consider to stay on that side of the 2 if there's a natural route available. No, he has an angle to draw back.
Yeah. And I see now that with the 5 he can open the 6 up. If he plays a nice position for the 5, he can pocket the 5 in the corner where he's standing now, and open the 5 or open the 6 from the rail. And this will be a very good opportunity to close it out.
Yeah.
A lot of work to be done.
Yeah, you know, he needs to do a lot of pool playing. This shot, then the 6, then the 8.
It'll be interesting to see how he goes about this rack.
Straight enough to draw back. Where he would like to leave himself an angle on the 3.
Yeah, I think he just wants to touch the short rail with the 3, miss the 7, the hit on the 7, and come towards the 5. Or he's going to play your shot and draw straight back now.
Yeah. Doesn't want to be straight. Same shot again, I think. Now this can get away from you. Elevating like this. Sometimes it dies off of the long rail.
Wow.
Beautifully struck.
Very nice.
Man, he's playing good.
Yeah. He's had some fortune, of course, with those 2 9 balls, but besides that, he's played very, very well. He's been cueing the ball excellent.
I'm now
Eklent.
Eklent. Yeah. Plenty ka-ching. Closing in.
There it is, opening the 6, but we have to wait.
I'll be back in the booth in coming matches tonight, and I'll come with an answer who the youngest winner in the history of the World Pool Masters has been. Because that's the thought that comes to my mind if I see him perform like this.
I think...
Well, we have Filler, we have Gorst, we have Kaçi. Big chance we get a young winner.
Yeah.
Or a reasonable chance. Let me put it like that.
For an under 21 winner. He's looking at the 6 in the corner, but it's very difficult to play position. So he could also try and play a safe behind the 8. And that is deadly.
Yeah, smart.
Smart play.
Yeah, he's good in those finesse shots. It looks like a simple roll shot. And it is a roll shot, but not simple. He executes that type of shot with a lot of consistency.
Jason's looking at a 2-rail kick. But the 9 is right in the way of the natural angle. So he has to bend around the 9 and create that angle to try and even pocket the 6. Or he's going to go 1, 2, 3 rails, hit the short rail as his 3rd rail, and then make contact with the 6.
I'd go 1.
Oh, wow. He went 2 rails.
Nice effort. It was difficult to make it come that short, the cue ball.
Start the clock, please.
Still a little work to be done, Alex, on this 8 ball. This looks elementary. 4 balls on the table, ball in hand. Everybody thinks this match is over, but that 8 is still tricky. He has to play very nice position from the 7 to the 8. So this ball right here is
So the
crucial.
roll shot is a bit straighter, I think, than he would have liked.
Personal preference there, I would have liked to play under the 7. The cue ball stuck to the short rail.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of this.
Now he was looking at staying above the 8 ball. Staying above the 8 ball. Don't hit the knuckle. Don't hit the knuckle. Don't hit the knuckle.
See, this is no easy shot. By
Play
any
it
means.
as if the knuckle isn't there.
Yep.
Play positive. Don't hold back. Don't hit the knuckle. Good shot.
Well played.
Good shot, Eklent Kaçi. What a match.
Yeah, clinical performance.
Wow. 2 flukes. Two real flukes on the 9, and maybe that kick-started young Kaçi. But other than that, a very, very classy performance by the young Albanian. Eliminated Earl Strickland with a 7-2 scoreline. Jayson Shaw with a 7-2 scoreline, making 4 break-and runs. He's next. He's through to the next round.
Playing Pegelainen,
where he will be up against Alex Pegelainen.
Well, there was a little bit of luck involved, but that was a very impressive performance, nevertheless, from Eklent Kaçi. And with Jayson Shaw going out, British interest in this competition is now over. So the first game of this evening session has gone the way of the European #1, 7-2 against Jayson Shaw. We're going to get Konrad Uzesha next against Matt Edwards, who had an impressive victory last night. Then it's Joshua Filler against Albanushin, and we finish off this evening with Skylar Woodward versus Fredrik Gorst.